I have a statement that I would like to make today. You can't make the wrong way the right way before God. And you can't make society ways God's ways. I want you to think about the way that you're living your life. And is your life pleasing to God's standards, or is your life pleasing to man's standards? See, if we go by society ways, that means that we can live any kind of way. But if you're truly going by God ways, that means that you can only live a righteous way. See, if we're called to do things God way, and if we say that He's our Heavenly Father, we have a responsibility to live for our Father. See, if I'm saying that God is my Father, I shouldn't want to talk the same, walk the same, dress the same, and live the same. But if I'm saying the devil in hell is my father, I can live any kind of way that I want to live. But don't be surprised when your eyes close that you're going to go and live where your father is going to live. I want you to think about that. Think about the way that you're living your life. Think about the way that you talk. Think about the things that you do, the places that you go, the people you hang around. Do they truly represent the standards of God, or do they represent man's standards? See, if you listen to what society says you can be whatever you want to be. If you're a man, you can be a woman. If you're a woman, you can be a man. Society tells you if you're a woman and if you want to marry another woman, go ahead and do it. Society says, hey, if you're a man and you want to marry another man, go ahead and do it. Society tells you if you don't want the child, you don't have to keep the child. If you don't want the child, abort the child. That's what society says. But what is it that the true and living God says? See, society says drink and be merry. Society says success is everything in this world. Live it to the fullest and then die. What is it that God is saying? Society says dress how you want. If you want to wear the tight clothes, wear the tight clothes. If you want to wear the short clothes, wear the short clothes. If you want to stay out all night, stay out all night. That's what society says, right? Society says, guess what? If you're in that heterosexual relationship, you don't ever have to get married. You can stay common law all you want to. You can live with that man for 20 and 30 years, and it's okay. Have how many kids you want to have. Keep having children by that man. You don't never have to marry that man. You don't have to be in no marriage. See, that's what society says. But what is it that the true and living God is saying? See, society says you can believe in any God. You can bow down to any lowercase God. You don't have to bow down to the true and living God, and when you die, you're going to still live with God. Society says you can believe in any religion that you want to believe in. I want you to think about these things. Society tells us a lot of things, but if it's not God's way, it does not matter what society say. You cannot make right wrong in God's eyes. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Jesus said, I'm the same yesterday and today and forever. He does not change. It does not matter how many laws the president passed, the Supreme Court passed. If it's not God's ways, it does not matter what society says. If it's not God's ways, we must start understanding God's laws and not man's laws. One day, every last one of our eyes will close, and we're going to have to stand before the true and living God. See, society can tell you, smoke all you want, drink all you want, do anything you want, have all the orgies you want, watch all the pornography that you want, long as you ain't hurting nobody. That's what society says. But one day, when you stand before judgment, you will have to stand before Him and not them. Please understand that when your eyes close and when you stand before judgment, you will have to stand before Him and not them. You're going to have to answer to the true and living God. There's no other God. There's only one true and living God. Start seeking Him. Start seeking to know the standards of God, because God has standards. It doesn't matter if society doesn't have standards. God has standards, and God has rules to His house. And when your eyes close, if you want to live with the Heavenly Father in His house, while you on this temporary world, you must abide by the rules of His house. And the rules of His house is simple. It's righteous living. You first must receive Jesus Christ as Lord into your life, and you must start living a life that's pleasing to God. When your eyes close, if you want to live with God. So today is the day. Let's start seeking God, and let's start living to God's standards and not society standards, because it does not matter what society say. The only thing that's going to matter on that day is what did the true and living God say. So always remember my closing. Self-examination is the best examination, and Jesus Christ is Lord, and he's all we have. Have a great rest of the day.